Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where the orchard of wisdom shows are at your fingertips. It ignites your soul, your heart, your spirit, your mind, and your body with illumination from people who have made the journey before you. They're here now to help you on your journey, on your path of self-discovery. We are funded by you, the audience, and the people we interview. If you wish to support us, please go to selfdiscoverymedia.com and press on our Fund Action button. Anything is appreciated. We'd like you to sit back and enjoy the shows. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. This week's Pearls of Wisdom, milestones. What are our milestones in life? Those things that happen that you've been aiming for, a big event or an anniversary, something that you can mark as a beginning of or an end of or just a part of. The reason I'm thinking of milestones is that my grandson is turning 1 today, March 22nd. 1 year of age, and it's so different when you're having your own children. When you have your own children, that responsibility is in your arms right from the word go. That heart makes a connection, and you know that this life is in your hands. It's your responsibility to guard them, guide them, and lead them to where they need to go. And parenthood is absolutely wonderful, but slightly different to that of a grandparent. A grandparent, we just feel and see things differently. We're not in the everyday, even if we are there sometimes day to day. It's a different type of feeling. And we know so much more having been a parent, and also because we're older. And we see different important things for our grandchildren. My little boy is turning 1, and his name is Rowan, and he is an absolute delight. He is vegan. He feeds himself, or admittedly, if he doesn't like it, drop. He knows how to say enough in sign language, waving his hands way back and forth. Enough, I've had enough. He's learning to say thank you. And he's got a lovely gobbledygook little language when he gets going. No kind of wordy words yet, but he can have conversations with you in all sorts of languages. And of course, he's got that wonderful scream, the one that's so high pitched only a dog could hear. And it's wonderful watching him learn. Now, I look at when he was born, this tiny, wonderful little infant of wonder, and how many milestones that he has actually had in this last year. There's from 0 to 12 months, they had to learn how to crawl, how to walk, how to eat, how to sit up, how to roll over, how to interact, how to hear the word no, don't touch, and ignore it. There's so many things that they've had to achieve. And never mind the growth spurt that they've had. He's kind of in the 100th percentile with his weight, and about 75th percentile, I believe, with his height. And so he looks so much older than he really is. But it's so cute to see him walking now, kind of the water wall, the penguin walk. And it's pitter-patter, pitter-patter as he goes around. And they bought him a tunnel, which he loves, going in the tunnel. And if he can't see you, therefore he's hiding. They have a huge big box from the car seat, and he loves going in that box. And because the flap is down, he can't see us, so therefore he's hiding. And when he comes out, he gives us a surprise, and all those wonderful little things that they do to remind us how joyful life is in every moment. He knows, when you give him the crossword, because I give him a certain look. No, not approving. And then when he does something right, I give him the thumbs up. Cool, right on. And then he goes, okay, I like that reaction better. And so it's wonderful to watch them learn, because you could see the wheels turning behind their eyes as they kind of deduce, do I try it? drop, or do I not? Do I get up? Do I get down? And it's testing of the waters. And sometimes it's so goddamn cute, it's hard to keep a straight face. But what milestones have we had in our lives? You know, do we stop counting as the years go by? Do we not look at the achievements that we've had on our path? Yes, it's so easy to see it in a child. You know, he's walking, he's beginning to talk, he's turning one, big milestone. But what milestones do we have? I have a milestone coming up on the 4th of April where I would have been a decade of hosting, of podcasting. June will be 9 years of my own network. And 10 years of this is actually a big deal to me, because other than things that come naturally to me, like soul awakening, which I do all the time, this is the first time and only time that I have stayed with a career move and really, really enjoyed it, even the ups and downs of it, and still see a future in it and still want to immerse myself into it. And that's because of all the incredible people I get to interview on all topics from all around the world. The common denominator, does it come from the heart, and is it going to benefit people? It really is quite extraordinary what some people have gone through to who they are today and what they're doing to help others. It's beautiful to see the opening of wisdom, of spiritual wisdom, to see the enlightenment gathering, the inside out life, and people realizing that it doesn't matter what you have on the outside, it's how enriched and abundant are you on the inside. And this, if I'd spoke about it 20 years ago, would be such a hard concept to get people to understand. And now we're seeing it as a mainstream. So in a way, you can call that a milestone, can't you? Kind of things that used to not be in existence or would never be talked about now being a mainstream conversation. And, you know, that's right on, man. So, yes, I have this big milestone coming up. This year I turned 68. Is that a milestone? I think the 70 is the one that one thinks is a milestone. But everything we do in life, I think if we measure it not by the success of how rich or how popular we are, but how fulfilled are we? How much has it meant to us? How much do we feel we've achieved in that time? How has it changed our lives? Believe me, doing these shows has changed my life considerably. I have learned so much about myself. I have learned so much about humanity. I've learned so much about business and environmentalism and children and just you name the topic. And it's so wonderful to see so many people who have stepped out of that comfort zone or that societal conditioning and have broken that mold and walked away and doing something else. I think we're at a milestone in humanity right now. We're coming out of the pandemic, but we're straight into another war. We're going to have, I predict, maybe a cyber, economic, and definitely a cyber war. And I think we're going to see a reconstruction of governments, of society as a whole. We've placed an awful lot of importance and faith on governments to represent the people. And whether they go into it with good intentions, because it's a sewerage pit, it's very hard to fulfill those good intentions when there are so many egos and agendas in place. So if we're seeing this new life, this new paradigm of individuals and companies and conglomerates coming up and saying, well, we're not waiting for government to change the environment, we're doing it now. We're not waiting for the government to be behind mental health, we're stepping it up. We're not waiting for the government to be supportive of single parents or children at risk, we're stepping up. And what we're seeing is just an enormous amount of stepping up by individuals and companies where they see there's a huge lack of support, and they realize that if they wait for government, be another century. Government follows the people, folks. When we, the people, demand change, the government has to change with us. They're slow to do so, but don't expect them to be the leaders. They are not capable of being so because of the bureaucracy that's in the way. So we are seeing right now with Russia and Ukraine a massive stand up with Ukraine. And could we have stood up with Syria and Yemen and all these other places? Yes, we could. But I think what it is with this time is we came together under COVID. We came together knowing that we had to be together, united, in order to have the beautiful force of positive energy to propel us forward. And we realized that our voice does matter. And by putting our voice up against Putin, now let's understand this, that Putin doesn't give a damn what you think. But it's not the words we're saying, it's the energy which we're saying it. If we're standing with Ukraine and saying no to Putin, and I'm not saying Russia because so many Russians are in the same position as Ukraine in many ways, that if they stand up against Putin, they face death, they face imprisonment. He doesn't care for his people. He only cares for himself. He's ego-driven, power-hungry, because he's an insecure little boy inside. And it's the energy that we collectively bring together in that wonderful force. May the force be with you. That energy that will, as it comes together, be the force against him. We know what is right and wrong, folks. We know that we have to change our dialogue. We know that we have to mark certain passages as been and done and gone, and that there has to be new verbiage, new energy, new approaches, new milestones to aim for. And this is the time of actionism. It's the time to put yourself in gear and move forward. Understand this, when you improve your life, and I'm not talking about big house and big money and big followers. I'm talking about the well-beingness of your heart, soul, and spirit, your inner essence. When you step into that and you become that beautiful divine force of energy in your own life, you radiate out that beautiful energy to anyone and everyone in your vicinity. Now, all of those energies coming together like a chorus, like an orchestra, resonating out like a pulse, like a wave, like you see the old wavelengths from the old radios. Those wavelengths are going out there and they're having an impact. They're having a huge impact. So as much as we see, oh God, yet another war, or oh God, this, oh God, that, understand this is Haglas right now. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Haglas is the Celtic rune of disruption. I've just said this many a time if you've listened to my shows. The universe is shaking us up to wake us up, for us to step up, to change it up, and to grow up. Double entendre on the grow up vibrationally, but grow up as a human race. We are very much still being shaken up. Many people have stepped up. A lot of people have changed it up. And many people are growing up to that higher energy. But there is a resistance for those that don't want to see the change, for those that want to hang on to the past, they want to hang on to their opulence. We are seeing them be more threatened, and with that, retaliation. But if we ourselves own that step up in our own lives, and we've had the gift of COVID, which slowed us down for us to review our lives. If we look at that and go, okay, am I having a positive impact in my own life? Am I having a positive impact in the life of my family, loved ones, and friends? Am I having a positive impact on my community? Am I contributing something that is solutional? Or am I being part of the problem? No beating up, no persecution. Ask yourself these questions, and wherever is the no, jot it down, and now make an effort to change it. It's as simple as that, folks. Okay, my environmental. Take my own bag to the shops. Use biodegradable plastic bags to throw out in the garbage. Become more plant-based diet. which is healthier for you. Be more mindful who am I buying for? Are they GMO or are they big conglomerate? Is the food good for my system? Be more mindful on the gas, maybe electric car, or maybe changing the power in your house. Walk more, bike more, go to bus. You know, you can meet all sorts of people on a bus. Be more mindful. Am I being kind to other people? Am I being kind to myself? Is my rhetoric towards myself damning me, or is it inspiring me? Is it propelling me forward? For all of those no's that you had, look at and go, why not? Is this past conditioning? Is this an old program? Is this societal telling me I'm not good enough? Or is it just an inner voice that's begging to be heard that you're not listening to? When you compartmentalize it and bring it down to the nitty gritty, it's easier one step at a time to make that change, to stand up for yourself, to rise up vibrationally and grow up as a human race. We're in for massive changes, folks, massive. The shakeup is not finished. The disruption is not finished. But understand this, it's like a spring cleaning. It's cleaning house. We got to get rid of the old in order to embrace the new. We have to get rid of the old energy that's bringing us down in order to allow the new energy to come in and help us grow up. It's all that. So look at your milestones. Have you started making those changes in your life? Look back and go, you know, a month ago I was doing this and I'm not doing it anymore. 6 months ago I was doing this and I'm not doing it anymore. A year, I look back and go, do you know who is that person from a year ago? Thank God I'm not doing it anymore. Set your own milestones. See, looking back is okay. As long as you're looking back to see how far you've moved forward. That's the key. How far have you moved forward? Don't just start it and go, I'll do one or two things and then snap back into an old pattern. Very easily done. If you document the changes you're doing, verbally, a blog, in your diary, however, like a testament to what you're doing, that you can go back and refer to, then you will see how far you're moving forward. If you go back and look at it, you know what? I started off good and I petered out. I need to put my foot to the pedal now and commit to this. It becomes your discipline. It becomes something that is supportive of you in moving forward. So remember this, folks. All of those world problems out there are everybody's problem. Everybody's problem. When all of us start taking care of our own problems and we start bringing solutions to the collective problems, we all now become solutional. What happens with that? We rise up. What happens? We get a more equilibrium. We see more balance. Mother Earth, universe, within our own lives, and we resonate on that vibration of love. Believe me, it is totally achievable, but it's up to every single one of us to participate. So set yourself some milestones. Have that questionnaire with yourself. Please record it. I want you to have it documented. Everything. What I used to do in my counseling is have a column for all the negatives, all the things you feel about yourself, all the things that you feel are out to get you, all of the things that you feel are against you. Then in the other column to look at all of the things that you are grateful for, all of the things that you do have, and then decide which you're going to feed. Because if you feed the do-haves grow. If you feed the don't-haves and the resentment, they grow. Make the choice to grow up, not be pulled down. Set yourself some milestones. In 3 months, I'm going to look back and see my progress. If I've propelled further than I thought I would have, hallelujah. If I haven't, then I know I need to be more, put more foot to the pedal and really delegate more to myself in doing it. We have to be our own discipline, folks. But please understand this. Everything that's happening out there has got something to do with us, no matter where you are in the world. Because when there's disruption and when there's an equilibrium going on, we're all thrown off balance. So yes, Putin needs to be accountable, and his day is coming. How far this war will come before he pushes too far or people push back, I don't know. The countries are all trying to prevent a war for right now, an outright war. He's threatening nuclear. When you start talking nuclear, now everybody has to pay attention, because we can't afford a nuclear war. We can't afford end of days. The invite from the universe is, make this your first day of rising up. The end of days is the old paradigm of thinking. So set yourself some milestones. In 3 months, I would have achieved. And please don't go and do diet. Please don't do diet. I'm not talking about the body on that. I'm talking about inside. I would change the way I talk to myself. I would change the way I talk to other people. I would change the way I care about myself. I will be more loving to myself. Those are the steps I want you to take and water right now. Water the self-love. Forgive yourself for any past things that you may have done. No persecution, not allowed. Hug yourself, nurture yourself. Take that little child that may have been neglected, abused, or just forgotten. Nurture that child and say, I see you, I hear you, you have a voice. When you do that inner work, it takes care of the outer. So please start inside and start with the way you talk to yourself, okay? So, milestones. My little boy, there he is, 1 year. What's the next year going to be? He's just starting daycare. He'll get to meet all sorts of people, and lots of milestones are going to happen there. My kids bought a A&B last year. They've decided to sell it because it is an awful lot of work. Let's see what milestones my own kids are going to have this year. For me, I know the 10-year milestone happening on the 4th of April. June 13th is actually the milestone of 9 years of my own network. What's my milestone from there? I've changed the name of one of my sites. I'm reconfiguring it, and I'm asserting programs in there. So, and my milestone is I've got to write my book. So set yourself some milestones, manage your time, manage your life so that you can actually achieve them. But it does start with being kind to oneself. Please don't say, I'm going to do this and this and this by 3 months, and find that at that 3rd month you've overloaded yourself because you've gone and done too much. Baby steps. And those first steps is to simply looking at yourself in the mirror and saying beautiful things to yourself, to your inner child, to you as a baby, of love, of support, of caring. Start there, okay? Until next week, folks. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. Please tune in to our selfdiscoverymedia.com/shows, and you will see all the other genres that we have from you. Every week on Tuesday, we bring you new shows from illuminating people. If you know someone that should be interviewed, please contact us at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com. Now stay tuned for your next show.